Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying our programming thus far. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to our first round of breakouts. This is It's a Veggie World, a global celebration of vegetable flavors, cocktail included. Our moderator for this session will be Andrew Hunter, and our presenter will be Ming Tsai. So to bring us into this session, I am delighted to welcome our presenters to the virtual stage. And we will be kicking off in just a moment. I'm also thankful to our sponsor, Kikkoman Sales USA, for their support of this session and for the conference as a whole. So thank you all so much for joining us, and we will get started in just a moment. The recipes for this session are available on the link on the right. Feel free throughout the time to enter your comments or questions in the chat, and Andrew will moderate as we go through, as well as Chef Ming will be able to address them throughout the time we have here. Chef Ming will be with us throughout this 40-minute session, as well as for a 20-minute question and answer concluding. So we have a full hour with our talented chefs here, Andrew and Ming. I'm sure Ming will be coming up to us in a second. For the moment, I will hand it off to you, Andrew, to kick us off.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to It's a Veggie World, a global celebration of vegetable flavors. It's my pleasure. I'm the corporate executive chef for Kikkoman, and it's my pleasure to introduce our special guest chef presenter, Ming Tsai. Ming is the James Beard award-winning chef, owner of Blue Dragon in Massachusetts, and his latest venture, Baba, at the Yellowstone Club in Big Sky, Montana. Ming is an Emmy Award winner. He hosts PBS TV's Simply Ming, now in its unbelievably 17th season. Ming is the author of 5 cookbooks: Blue Ginger, East Meets West Cooking with Ming Tsai, Simply Ming, Ming's Master Recipes, Simply Ming One Pot Meals, and Simply Ming in Your Kitchen. And we can see him in his kitchen now. As a way to emulate his lifestyle and share it with the world, Ming is launching his new line of veggie-filled patties called Ming's Bings, which hits DTC, direct-to-consumer, and grocery stores soon. How you doing, Ming?
Good. Hey, Andrew, how are things?
Good, good. I'm just finishing up a couple of more tidbits about your great background.
Thank you.
In addition to being a great chef, he's also a great citizen. He supports many charities, including Family Reach, which is a national nonprofit whose mission is to provide financial relief and support to families fighting cancer, of which he is currently the chairman of the National Advisory Board. Today, Ming is going to walk us through a veggie world incorporating Kikkoman's global flavors. And he's going to kick it off with a cocktail and end with a dessert. But before I hand it off to my friend, I'd like to tell you 2 lesser-known facts about this gentleman. He's the 116th generational descendant, I believe, correct me, of the first emperor of a unified China. So we have royalty in our mix, and rumor has it he's a hell of a squash player. So without further ado, please welcome Ming Tsai, everyone. Applause.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. That's quite an introduction. Most of it's true. I had nothing to do with being the 116th generation of Tsai. But anyway, there is our Tsai Luen was our 34th generation. My great-grandfather, 34 generations ago, he actually invented paper. And unfortunately, he didn't get a patent on that, because if he did, wow, think about that. But I'm still happy to be here. I'd still be here. You know, people ask me that. If I won $1 zillion, what would I still do? I'd still be a chef, right? I would. It's just what we love to do. We love to make people happy through food. So we have a lot to do. I'm doing actually 4 dishes. One's the cocktail. So we're going to just jump right into it. So we're going to do a tomato martini with one of my favorite vodkas, Double Cross. Love this stuff. We're doing a veggie tempura with shiitakes and shallots. We're then doing a red roast braised cauliflower in leeks on a little sweet potato puree. And then last, we're doing a banana flambe that's going to have a chocolate unagi sauce. All right, so let's get started. Henry, get in here, please. My son is Henry. He's shooting this. So this is how you make tomato water, guys. In here is cheesecloth, and I literally took 4 tomatoes, and I pureed them in my blender with a good 2 pinches of salt, right? Then I wrap it in cheesecloth. I'm going to give it one more squeeze because you'll see that's tomato water. See that, guys? That's actually just the juice of the tomato. Purists wouldn't squeeze it at all because then you're going to get a little pink water. You could have this perfectly clear. I'm so Chinese, I would hate to waste all this great water, but look what we have left here. All right, check this out. So now this is what this tomato water looks like. This was 4 tomatoes, and I did this last night. I hung it, and the only squeezing I did was just there. And you can see towards the end, there's a little bit of kind of cloudiness. Kind of like an old wine. I'm going to just save that. I'm still going to use that. That's delicious tomato water. I just don't need it for this cocktail. So we're doing my version of kind of a Bloody Mary using tomato water as a base. Hats off to my buddy Michael Schlau, who's an awesome chef. This is a version of what he used to do called a Ghost of Mary. So we're going to do the same thing. So first, we're going to go ahead and get 2 ounces of tomato water. All right, this is going to be for 1. I'm going to go a little bit more. I'm going to go 1.5 of these for 2 ounces. I have a large martini glass. All right, then we're going to take the best vodka you have. I do keep my vodka frozen. I keep my tequila frozen. Why? Because, well, then it won't waterize your on the rocks. So we'll do 1.5 of these as well. All right, then we're going to add pretty much traditional flavors of a Bloody Mary. Some Worcestershire sauce, right? Couple of hits of this, like 1, 2. That's plenty. A little Tabasco, like Tabasco, a little heat. 1, 2, 3. I like it spicy. A little twist here, a little shoyu ponzu. This stuff is awesome, right? This has a nice little acidity from the ponzu and a little bit of shoyu, so it's my salinity, like that. That's it. I'm going to shake this up. Nice and cold. Load this up. This is the key. You really want it super cold, right? Here, obviously, get it really nice in there. And you do it until your left hand is really super ice cold. 3, 2, 1. All right. Then how do you get this off, right? It's usually lopsided. So I go to the furthest part around. You got to give it a good hit, right? Like this. Boom. 1 more. Okay. Really hit it hard. You don't try to pull it. Once you hit it hard enough, it comes right off. All right. So don't be this guy pulling because it's going to go everywhere. So then key here, I have a martini glass, but ice cold, right? Got to dump that out, guys. We just spent all this time making this martini super cold. You want to make sure your glass is super cold. All right. So then we pour in this awesome tomato martini. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm going to do one thing. I'm so sorry. I have to do this. I forgot the rim right here. And this is came up. This is actually not in the recipe, but I had this awesome soy wasabi powder from Kikkoman, and I tried this. So I'm just going to rim half of the rim with that. Why? Because it's so good. Wasabi is a horseradish, which is also with the awesome with the Bloody Mary. All right. A little bit of garnish. Bluntly, I couldn't find caper berries today. So I'm going to use regular capers, a couple, with a pickle and a pickled onion. So there we have it, guys. This is our tomato martini, obviously 100% veg base. Oh my God. I hope you guys try this one day. It's actually not that hard to make as long as you have cheesecloth. I tell you, and this powder, this is what it looks like, guys. If you don't read Japanese, you're kind of out of luck. But it's literally, it's as good as, take this in the right way, it's as flavor powerful as MSG. but it's no MSG. It's just actually either soy sauce or tamari reduced down to just the powder. Okay, I can just spend all day and just drink that, but we can't. So, next course, tempura. I'm gonna grab my board here. So, Kikkoman tempura mix. You can buy the big bags. I have a big bag behind me as well. Works great. We're gonna have a little bit of a watercress salad. All right, B&W, awesome company, does tons of watercress across the country. So here we have, guys, some shallots that I've already sliced, and I've just soaked it in just room temp water just to get some of that super oniony flavor out of it. A little bit of minced shallot with Dijon. I'm actually going to make a quick little vinaigrette, just those two with just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. That's just going to garnish the watercress salad, and then we'll tempura both the shallots and the shiitakes. All right, so let me go ahead and first get the tempura mix going. Any questions, guys? So listen, I'd much rather answer questions along the way. So Andrew, if you have any, or anyone that's texting in, I'd love to hear what people have to ask, because it's more fun to answer as we cook.
Yeah, everyone, it's great to have for Ming to have a conversation. So please get the questions rolling. Okay, so here, I don't do directions very well, but it's 1 cup. I am going to tweak it a little bit because I've tried this. I use actually soda water or sparkling water. Gives you just even an extra little kind of tenderness, I find, to the actual tempura. So I'm going to use my favorite of all favorite, Topo Chico. And no, I don't work for them. Believe me, I wish I worked for them. I drink so much Topo Chico. It's ridiculous. It's the best sparkling water in the world. Chef, you agree with that? I do. I really like I think it has hard bubbles as opposed to something like a Pellegrino, which is softer. Do you think those bubbles affect the batter?
Absolutely. So this is when I was in Japan, we would use ice water, and the directions on the tempura mix, both from Kikkoman, is ice water, and usually it's about 3/4 cup to 1 cup of tempura mix. I find when you use sparkling water, you can see it foams up and it gives it even a better lightness to it. And the consistency I'm looking for is pancake batter, right? Which is basically, this is a nice loose pancake batter. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So we can go to the back now. I'm going to go ahead and take my shallots, just drain my shallots, right? Get all the water out of that into the tempura. Take my shiitakes. I'm going to keep them nice and whole and big. All right. We can go to the back now. Let's get these frying. Come on.
So they all go in together.
Shiitake, yeah, they're going to be approximately the exact same time frame. Nice. But yeah, it's a great question there, Chef. Get the biggest one first. I'm going to get the big honking mushroom here first because this one is extra thick. So I'm going to get that one in first. All right, there we go. Get in some mushrooms like this. And then it's okay to grab a couple of shallots, put them on the side.
Chef,
this is like cheating, right? This is like eating meat, right? I love shiitakes. I just think it's such a meaty mushroom and really can get you just a great full flavor, right? You know, people think, oh, eat vegetables, I'm going to be hungry afterwards. Not true. Not if you're eating the right stuff, right? And it can be just as delicious and light as anything else with protein or without protein. All right, so I'm going to let that go for about a minute. It's got to get nice GB&D, golden brown delicious, and we'll give it a quick flip. All right, let's go in front here, Henry. We're going to do a quick little.
Chef, what temperature are you frying at?
That's at 350, 375, right? It's probably just a touch low, to be honest, right? It should have been a little bit more. So quick little vinaigrette, a little bit of minced shallot, a little bit of Dijon. Grab 1 lemon. Gonna add juice of 1 lemon here. Just like that. Catch it, it's all right. My hands are clean. I'll clean them again. All right. Then olive oil. It's got to be good olive oil. This is a great olive oil. This is from my buddy Action Bronson. Actually has his own olive oil. Fantastic. So whisk in some olive oil. And if you can get in there or not. Sorry, it's so low.
Chef, is there a difference in the olive oil that you make a vinaigrette with versus what you might cook with? You save the good stuff for the cold dressings?
Yeah, that's a great question, Andrew. Absolutely. The first press is the extra virgin olive oil. That I only use for vinaigrettes and drizzling. I tend never to cook with extra virgin olive oil. The second press and olive oil blends is what I then use to cook with. And if you're going to be wok stirring in high heat, you can't use olive oil at all because the smoking temperature is so low, it'll start to burn. All right, I'm going to see how this tastes.
There's a question about what oil are you frying with?
I'm frying in grapeseed. Grapeseed is my favorite. It's high smoking, has a nice nutty flavor without nuts. But let's go check it out while you mention that. Come on, Hen. See what we got going on here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Nice. Nice and crispy. Look how crispy these are. I love this tempura batter. Has that little baking soda action going on, right? So it gets nice and good. I don't mind it if the onions stick like that, stick to the mushroom. I think it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. All right. We'll let that go. Need just one more minute. And we can actually start plating this up. This is very simple, guys. This dish is basically done. I'm using the tempura kind of as the croutons to the salad, if you would. And we just have a very simple salad here. All right. So then I'm going to take watercress. Love watercress. It's one of the most commonly eaten vegetables in Asia. The Chinese eat more watercress than any other society. And the second, what do you think the second country is, Andrew?
France.
England. Because of the tea sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because of the watercress tea sandwiches, they buzz through a truckload of watercress. That's a lot of watercress, right? And China is a ginormous country compared to England, right? Think about that. Anyway, so I have a nice kind of a multi vinaigrette. Because we can, make a couple lines on the plate. You don't have to, but if you're going to cook, might as well make it look somewhat edible, delicious, right? So then I'm going to take, you eat with your eyes. So then the rest, I'm going to just gauge about that much watercress is what I think I'm going to need. So then just toss it, lightly toss the watercress. This is where actually chopsticks rule. Chopsticks are so gentle, you can not crush even tongs a little bit too rough, right? Hands are the best, but obviously in certain environments, you can't be using hands. So just like that. Again, guys, classic vinaigrette, right? Acid, Dijon, extra virgin. There we go. All right, let's go see. And you can stay right there. Oh, come on back, Hen. All right, let's get these out. Oh yeah, these are looking good. Look at these. Oh yeah, this is awesome. You can hear how crispy. Listen how crispy they are. Right, they hit each other. It's so crispy. Love that. A great batter. Here's a good. Oop. I like when those shallots kind of just stick on. Bringing a little French influence versus doing scallions. Okay, the most important thing now is while they're still hot, give it some salt, right?
Yeah.
Salt will stick to something hot. Won't stick to it once it's cool. So then just take these, lay them on top, a couple onions like this. It's a great little salad, 2 people, 1 hungry person. But I guarantee you're not going to be like, oh, vegetarian food, no flavor, no crunch. I say baloney. I say there's plenty of flavor and crunch right there. There we go. First course, guys. Tempura, shallot, and shiitake's watercress salad. All right. Because I can, and because I must, I have to try this. I don't even hear it. So crunchy, but the mushrooms are still totally meaty. and totally juicy inside, which is the whole point of the tempura batter, right? Crunchy on the outside, keep all the luscious intensity of the flavor of the mushroom or the shallot inside.
So the mushrooms are great, chef, because for a veggie meal, because they sort of emulate meat.
Yeah.
And but you feel better afterward, don't you?
Oh, compared to, yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you're going to do, if you're doing fried pork dumplings versus a shiitake, you're going to feel a lot better. Especially right now during COVID, mushrooms all day long, guys. Why? Mushrooms have beta-glucan, shiitake, maitakes, reishi. They have tons of beta-glucan. Beta-glucan has been proven to build up your immune system. And right now with COVID, we want to build up our immune system. So drink mushroom tea, take mushroom pills. You can get them at the Whole Foods and Sprouts of the world, and just eat lots of raw, cooked mushrooms. Even raw mushrooms are fine. Mushrooms all day long. Good for you. Can't go wrong.
That's great. One quick, I see a lot of questions about the oil. Can you just talk a little bit about the oil, grapeseed, and the ideal temperature for frying?
Yep. Okay. For tempura, I think ideal is 375. I think 400 is too high. It also depends what you're frying. If I'm frying something thick, I would go to 350. But like those shallots and those mushrooms, 375 is perfect because you want it. It has to sizzle once it hits, and it has to float. And again, use common sense. Look at it till it's nice and golden brown, right? And it shouldn't take. If it took 10 minutes, then obviously your oil is way too low. Grapeseed is by far the best oil, I think. It's very expensive to fill a fryer in a restaurant with grapeseed. Some chefs do. Honestly, a lot of us do use canola oil. Back in the day of Blue Ginger, I used canola oil, but I had 3 fryers going, right? We had spring rolls, we had rangoons, we had this. And this is 20 years ago, too. The last 5 years, you've heard some reports that of all the oils, canola is not in the top as for healthiness, right? It's grapeseed. It's always been olive. Palm oil goes in and out of fashion every other year. Coconut oil is here to stay. I love coconut fat and coconut oil. I think those are awesome to cook with. And I like that flavor. Some people don't like that coconutty flavor. I love it. So I use it to fry and stir fry all the time. But grapeseed is my go-to because it just never smokes unless, of course, it's 700 degrees. Then it'll smoke.
Excellent.
Did that work? Okay. So this is one of my go-to Chinese dishes. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a tomato martini? Oh my God, it is. Nice to meet you.
Little liquid snack.
It's actually really early for you guys. It's only, what time is it here? It's 3 o'clock here, so it's 12 noon there. So, but it's a Bloody Mary, right? I really love them. So I'm making a dish that my grandfather taught me called red roast. So I'm going to just gather all the ingredients first to just show you what goes traditionally in a red roast. You need usually a soy sauce or tamari. So it's soy sauce, 1 part soy sauce to 1 part red wine to 1 part water, actually, because otherwise it can get a little salty. I use ginger, I use garlic, I use 2 oranges. Then I sweeten it with something. Today I'm using honey. It could be brown sugar, it could be white sugar. The idea is, and then scallions. The idea is all of this red roast liquid, you simmer it till it comes together. Then you could drop anything into that. It could be a whole duck. It could be a pork shoulder. Pork shoulder takes 4 hours. Whole ducks takes 2 hours. I'm going to do a head of cauliflower, right? I'm going to cut it in half. Awesome red roast, and I'm going to grab some leeks, which I have right here. 1 second, Henry. So we have some leeks and some scallions here as well, which we're also going to use. So here is everything that goes into the red roast. All right, scallions, leeks, garlic, ginger, tamari, red wine, honey, water. All right. There's also no wrong red roast. You can certainly add star anise and cinnamon. You can add Thai bird chilies, but we're going with this. So let me just get my pot here. We're going to add equal parts wine and water and soy. So we'll go like 2 cups. That's 2 cups of the tamari. Tamari I use now exclusively in my restaurants, not soy sauce. I think Kikkoman makes a great tamari. It's so important these days being gluten-free. I myself, I'd be lying to say if I was gluten-free, right? But I stopped drinking beer basically because I'm not going to ever stop eating dumplings and scallion pancakes. I just think there's so many other places to get gluten. During this whole COVID thing, Bob, the sourdough starter, was born in our family. So we certainly have had, here, Bob wants to say hi. So here's Bob. Bob is the fourth man in our household because I have two sons, dog Buddy, and now Bob. It's getting a little crowded, but Bob is delicious. So I welcome Bob.
How old is Bob?
You have a starter, chef? Everyone has starters these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And made a new one at the beginning of COVID. How old is Bob?
Oh, Bob is COVID. Bob is February. He's not even a year. Just a year. They can't even walk yet. Bob is still in the jar. All right, guys. So we got a couple oranges. Wash everything, right? So again, this is water, wine, and tamari. Squeeze in the orange. Wash them, right? Because then you want to put them all in whole. We have our leeks. We're going to hold off to the side because I want the liquid to come together first. Scallions, just rough chop like that, like 1-inch pieces. That goes in. This ginger, again, has been washed. So what I'm going to do is cut it in half. Skin is fine because you're not going to be eating this ginger. You're just trying to get all the flavor out of it. So nice, as long and as thin as you can go because you want to get as much flavor out of it. All right. So those nice thin slices go in. Garlic head, just cut in half. Boom, that goes in. Honey, 1 cup. Right, so about the same amount of honey as you did us. So you might think this is sweet. It is a little sweet, but it's not crazy sweet because the amount of tamari we had in there, it's a really nice balance. And this is key. You got to bring this to a simmer. Then you got to try it, right? Because what this liquid ends up tasting like is what your cauliflower or your pork shoulder or anything in between is going to end up tasting like. So we're going to come back here and just bring this to a simmer. All right. So we'll let that come to a simmer. We'll be right back. We're going to mix in all that honey. One of the reasons I use honey is it dissolves so quickly. So then you can taste and make sure you may have your sweetness spot on. So now we have our leeks. Here's my headed cauliflower. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything in that. Okay. So what I like to do is actually take out, not separate it, but I just want to take out the majority of the core, right? Like that. Then I'm going to cut it in half because this is way too tall to put in that pot, right? And I'm going to leave, I can take just a little bit more of the core out. But I want to keep this cauliflower intact, right? I want to keep it as two halves, okay? Now we have our cauliflower. That's going to get braised in. And we have our sweet potato. So I'm going to make a really simple sweet potato mash. And it's done in the microwave. But that's okay, right? It's not a microwave TV dinner. No, it's just sweet potato in the microwave. Henry, come with me to the microwave, please. Show you a little trick. So simple. A little water on a piece of paper towel. Sweet potato, been washed, skin on. I take my damp paper towel. I wrap it around my sweet potato. I hit sweet potato. I'm just kidding. There's no sweet potato function. I'm going to go for 3-3-3. Half of the devil. We'll see if that does anything. You're basically waiting until you can pierce it with the paring knife and it's fully cooked. So for Thanksgiving, if you're having 20 people over, you shouldn't be. Sorry. You should be having only your family. But back in the day when you did have 20 people over, this doesn't work because you can't nuke 7 sweet potatoes at one time, right? But if it's one, you're cooking for 2 or 4 people, it works just fine.
Chef, quickly, there's a question about the wine that you used. Yep. Chinese rice wine. versus looked like maybe a Bordeaux or
Yep.
something.
Yeah, very good. This actually was this is a gift from my godson's father, Thierry Massard. When I graduated, I have a rule, and I have a good amount of wine. I don't have thousands and thousands. I have, 400 bottles. My rule is whatever I have most of, use those first. So I had like 10 of these. So I figured, well, since they're 93, let's go with this. So this obviously is a classic Bordeaux, so the 5 grapes. Shaoxing wine is my other go-to. That's the Chinese wine that basically tastes like sherry. And so you can always substitute sherry, a dry sherry, for Shaoxing wine. And traditional, especially in the red roast pork shoulder, traditionally in China, they weren't using red wine. They were definitely using Shaoxing wine. And Shaoxing's drunk warm in shots in ceremonies. Not that delicious drunk warm, I have to be honest. Pretty headache inducing. So guys, once that sweet potato is done, I'm going to saute a little garlic and ginger, just in olive oil, and I'm going to just blend the garlic ginger in with that one sweet potato mash, and just add a whole bunch of full fat Greek yogurt. Right, so that's going to be kind of the glue to lay my cauliflower head on top. Right, so let's go ahead and back here. Let's grab my leeks, oops, and my cauliflower. All right, let's go to the back here. All right, so this is nice and simmered. You lay down the leeks. This obviously the oranges are going to get smaller, and once the juice comes out, of course, a lot of water comes out of the cauliflower as well, right? And you just have to manipulate it and just move it around, and then keep, not quite apposé, but you got to keep raising it, and then it's nice and hard now. So I'm gonna flip this 2 or 3 times, and all in, unlike a pork shoulder and duck, this will take only like 45 minutes. All right, and after 45 minutes, you end up. Oh yeah, and by the way, mushrooms as well. Throw some shiitakes in here, okay? And this is what you end up with, guys. Look at this. Look how nice and completely kind of like confit, if you would. So this is what cauliflower looks like once it's done. And you can see how this, I just added fresh shiitakes. They become this umami bomb, just better than steak. And the leeks just melt. The leeks melt and get nice and soft, right? And the flavor of the orange and the honey, it all blends in, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and let that just come to temp real quick. Let's see, check out on our sweet potato here. Okay, so that needs another half a devil. We'll go 3-3-3 again, and this will be good. Whoa, 4, yeah, that's right. Nope, 402 is too long. Andrew, what other questions you may have, young man?
Well, I wanted to ask you, when I looked in the pot, it looked like a pot of foo almost.
A pot of a pho?
Yeah, no, a pot of foo. The French.
Oh, pot of foo. Sorry, I heard pot of. I think you were trying to say pho. Pho. Pot of foo. Yeah, a little bit. Actually, yeah, that's. I don't take that as an insult. I take that as a compliment.
Oh no, for sure a compliment, because I think that you serve it with the oranges and you get all the deliciousness from it that way.
Oh, I agree completely. All right, so as this is coming to temp, we're going to get a saute pan and go ahead and just do the garlic and ginger. Come on back here, Henry Tsai. So here we can just add a little, again, in this instance, I'm not going to get it super hot. So here I'm fine with extra virgin olive oil. I just want to sweat this. If I'm wok stirring, when you wok stir, you're hitting anywhere with the 40 to 60,000 BTU burner. You're hitting 600, 700 degrees. So you can't use extra virgin olive oil. Here, as you can tell, the oil's not even hot yet. All I'm trying to do here is just get the rawness out of the garlic and ginger, because I'm just going to make a very country mash with that sweet potato. We're just going to scoop it out, add to this, add a bunch of that yogurt to make it nice and smooth. So it's a very smooth, easy mash. And by the way, Yukons or any larger potato would work just as well. All right, so we'll get that going. We're going to see how our sweet potato is going over there. I bet you they're pretty close by now. Let's see here.
So you didn't peel those, it doesn't look
Oh,
like.
no. This needs no, just 10, 1, 1, 1, and we're good. All right, so I'll get my salt and pepper. Gotta have your salt and your pepper and our yogurt. And I'll get that sweet potato out and throw it into a little bowl. All righty, there we go, little bowl. Are you cooking a lot, Andrew, this Christmas or this Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we're gonna, living in Los Angeles, we can eat outside. So we're gonna max out at about 8 people and gonna do a pretty traditional turkey roast.
Awesome. So here, guys, this is all I'm looking for. See that? I'm just taking the rawness out of the garlic and the ginger. All right. So here, we don't even have to get another pot dirty. We can just use this. What I'm going to do now is just take the sweet potato. You see how steamy this is, guys? Right? Nice and steamy. Cut off the 2 ends. Right? And this should just come apart like that. All right? This is really hot. You can tell it's really hot, right? So take that off. Take this off. And again, this is a country mash, guys, right? We're not looking for Michelin stars here. Just gonna, it can have just a little bite to it. I'm okay with that. So all I'm gonna do now, just in this pan, just break it up. Use your spoon. Really aromatic, guys, right? A lot of garlic and ginger in this by design. I really want to taste the garlic and ginger. So a little salt and pepper. Country mash. Okay. And I like that it's one pot dish. I'm getting all that flavored olive oil that has the garlic. You can actually see how much garlic and ginger is in here. So my idea is this is almost like a sweet potato tzatziki, if that makes any sense. So I'm cooking it, and I'm going to add basically almost a cup of yogurt to this to really smooth this out. And that's kind of be the starch, if you would. But
Chef,
it's almost
will
be. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what kind of yogurt are you using?
I'm using full-fat Greek. Full fat. I was on the non-fat, and here's the full-fat Greek. I'm going to add a lot, right? Really get it in there. I was on the non-fat Greek yogurt kick for a little bit, then I realized I was hungry. Every time I ate it, I'd be hungry in an hour. You need the fat. You know, our brains won't develop without fat. So these whole fat-free diets, no good. Eat your fat, just in moderation, right? Don't eat a quart of yogurt a day, right? Don't eat a quart of anything a day besides water.
There's a question about yogurt. If you were going to use a plant-based yogurt, soy or
coconut.
Almond. Coconut. Okay.
Coconut. I think the coconut yogurts I've had are great. You have to be a little careful because they could break. So you may have to get the sweet potatoes a little less hot before you add that in, because obviously it doesn't have the same properties as a full-fat yogurt. All right. A little salt. All right, we're good. Let's plate this up, guys. So I will bring up my red roast. All right, so we have our red roast. We have this. Get my nice platter. And out on my grandparents, this is their platter. I don't know if you guys know, but you see the rice? You see the rice pattern here? I don't know if people know this. You can see, I don't know if you can see this, but you can actually see. Let me get my iPhone out here. You can see through it, right? See that? So the way these plates are done is before they put them in the kiln, they put kernels of rice and actually implanted in it. So once it's fired, the rice burns and goes away, and it leaves this rice pattern. Pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. I can tell you're enamored as well. All right, let me grab one lemon. We're gonna add a little, I like to have a little cold and something fresh with this dish because it's somewhat, it's not heavy, but it has, you know, nice umami to it as well. So we're gonna do something so simple. I'm gonna first just put kind of watercress on the outside. I'm gonna put the sweet potatoes in the middle. All right, just like that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and zest just a little bit, because we can. A little lemon zest. Again, I don't need to add any fat to this, just acid. We have plenty of richness in the dish, and you saw how much yogurt I put in, right? So just a little bit of zest like that. And then go ahead and just take 2 sides of the lemon off. So no seeds, just a little bit of lemon juice. All right, like that.
You're a fan of the cress.
Then, oh, I love watercress. I am a big fan. Big fan. It's so good for you. I don't know if you know that, but kale and watercress both bat 1,000 on the NDI. That's the Nutritional Density Index. And they're the 2 most perfect green vegetables. Watercress is even better because of super high vitamin C and minerals. That's 6 times more vitamin C than actual oranges. All right, so that's our start of it. Then we're going to carefully take out one of our cauliflower halves.
Wow.
Right, and then we'll go ahead and take some of these beautiful mushrooms. Maybe got some chopsticks here.
The steam is so inviting.
It's okay. Isn't that steam great? I'll put an orange there. There we go. And we have these gigantic, beautiful mushrooms. Look at these mushrooms. Right? That's like the beef jerky of this dish. Right? Like that. We got all these awesome leeks. Right? So we take these leeks out too. And just lay the leeks. It could be on the outside with the watercress. Love leeks, right? Poivre, one of my favorite of all the onions. Shallot and leeks are probably my 2 favorite. I think that's all the French training, right?
Absolutely.
And because we can, go ahead and put the garlic out, because someone smartly will eat those garlic cloves, which great for Dracula's and great to build up your immune system. Then last but not least, go ahead and take a little bit of this braising liquid. You're more than welcome to strain it and reduce it to get it to a syrup. But this, I just drizzle on top to help wilt this watercress because it's nice and hot. Keeping in mind we had that lemon juice. All right. There we go, guys. There is our red rose braised cauliflower shiitakes watercress salad. All right.
That's beautiful. Just beautiful.
Andrew, I'm so bummed you can't try this,
so
dude.
Nice. I'd go right for the mushroom.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go for mushroom. I'm gonna take a little bite of the cauliflower part as well. Let me take this part here. Okay, let's try this first. Oh my God, it's so hot. It's very hot. But hot. Try a little bit of the puree. What I love about this is you don't miss the meat, right? The tamari has such umami, meaty qualities to it. My only word of caution is don't cook it too long, because if it reduces too much, it actually can get too salty, right? So how the liquid tastes is how you need to do it. Do it for that, 45 minutes, 1 hour, and then stop it, take it out, because it can't get too salty, right? This is freaking spot on. All right, Hannah, I'll give you that for a close-up if you like. Here's our first dish too. All right, dessert time. How are we doing on time?
We're doing great. We got about 15 minutes left. So we can have some Q&A too.
Easy money. Yeah, again, anyone out there, if you want to ask questions, I'm ready to answer them right now.
Chef, there's some questions buzzing about plant-based cheeses and maybe using nutritional yeast. What are your thoughts on that?
Yep. I actually like nutritional yeast. I think nutritional yeast, Braggers and those guys, it gives you that, I call it the Parmesan quality, right? You want that funkiness of cheese. And I think nutritional yeast is close. I've tried a bunch, and I'll talk about my project towards the end here, but and I don't work for any of these companies, full disclosure, but ViaLife is a company I've had recently that is, I was looking for a plant-based cheese that was not using nuts. Some of these good ones, the Japanese people use cashew milk and butter. Oh my God, you may know it. Like Hiroko or
Miyoko's.
The name will come to me. Miyoko's, yeah, Miyoko's. Really good, actually, really good. But they have nuts in it. So I'm developing this product that is trying to be incredibly allergen friendly. So no nuts, no tree nuts, no peanuts. So again, back to coconut fat, which I think is a great go-to fat that doesn't have nearly as many allergies as peanuts and tree nuts. I like ViaLife. And they actually have the melting qualities, right? You can actually do a grilled cheese and they can really pull it apart. The flavor is 70%, 75% is good, right? I mean, if you're trying to compare a slice of cheese to that, it doesn't hold a candle. But when it's in a ground maybe hamburger that has melted cheese on it and, I don't know, caramelized onions and pickles, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I just think there's a lot of merit to being moderate, right? Moderation in moderation is my real logo. You can't do anything. There's that one guy was at the Atkins. Let's eat bacon every day. 15 slices. I lost weight. Not sensical, right? You can't eat 15 slices of bacon a day and think you're healthy. And which is why I don't like the word diet. The word diet doesn't even exist in Chinese, right? It's just eat smart, eat a lot of plant and vegetables. I'm flexitarian. I certainly eat a ribeye once a month maybe. My kids still eat plenty of pork and chicken, so I cook for them. My wife is basically vegan. She and I will cook fish at home because I like to cook fish, but 80% plant-based first, right? And I think that's so important. I think it's important for your body. Any research, any doctor, any country is going to tell you more plant-based, the better. And if you believe in science, which I think probably everyone on this call does, science says that more plant-based is going to be better for the planet, right? Methane, water, all that from beef production and other protein productions. So I just think it's primarily first you can make delicious food, but secondarily you can do it with the thought that your body's going to live longer, which is so key. All right, so here we're going to make a chocolate ganache. I'm going to bring this to you, Henry. So here I'm keeping this actually dairy-free. How am I doing that? So here we have pistoles, bittersweet chocolate, love it. 1-to-1 ratio. This is hot oat milk. Traditional ganache, of course, you would use cream. Oat milk works awesome. You basically now, you don't want to touch it. Let that sit. If I try to stir it now, it's going to break, have a mess. You have to toss it. You don't want to touch it. You're going to let it sit for about 8 minutes, 10 minutes. You stir it up, you have ganache. We're going to add a spoon of sauce of unagi sauce, which you may like, ooh, that's weird. You know what? I've had plenty of desserts and plenty of chocolate desserts with soy sauce and with salt. Unagi is just, to me, soy sauce on steroids. It's a sweet soy sauce, if you would, right? A little bit thicker. So a little touch of unagi goes in there. And then we're going to do some sauteed bananas flambéed. So I'm going to show you real quickly. So on a banana, and I'm sure everyone knows this, but in case you don't know this, a banana is naturally in 3 sections. Do you know this, Andrew?
No,
you must know this.
I don't.
You can take your finger, you can run your finger along the banana, and it splits into 3 sections. Come on.
No,
You didn't know
I know
that?
how to peel a banana like a monkey, but I didn't know about the I didn't know about the 3 sections.
This is the only way you can get really like equal dice of banana, because now I have six long julienne, if you would, right? All right, Andrew, your day's complete, dude. You learned something today.
Hey, Jane, if you can hear me, put a poll out to see if our guests knew that about the banana. Maybe I'm the only one, Ming.
I don't know. I don't even know when I learned it. Probably 20 years ago. So I'm just going to get a saute pan hot. Going to melt a little bit. Could be oil if you want to keep it, vegan. It is better with butter. So I'm going to saute a little bit of ginger with butter. Add a little bit of bananas. Flambe it with a little bit of rum. And that's going to get served on some ice cream with our chocolate unagi ganache. I did a dessert once that, and I love desserts, right? I spent 2 years in Paris. I got to work with Pierre Hermé, who still today is probably one of the best pastry chefs in the world at Fauchon. Sadly, COVID, chaos. Fauchon is now closed, bankrupt. The best pastry house in the world. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But I just remember, I just remember at Fauchon, we made ganache all day long in these huge cuisards, like this big, 208 volts. And again, 50% heavy cream, 50% chocolate. It's the easiest recipe in the world. But once you're in a big cuisard, once it starts to melt, then you got to stir, cook it, and get it out. If you don't stir it quickly enough, you burn it. And you could lose like $5,000 of chocolate. And of course, the youngest on the totem pole and least experienced, who was me, was that guy. That first day, I had chocolate, dude. I had chocolate in my hair, in my ears. I had chocolate in my socks when I was taking off my clogs. I had chocolate everywhere. And so anyway, that was day one. Anyway, all right, let's go to the back here.
Hey,
get this cooking.
Quick
Call me,
question
Henry.
while you're going back there, Chef. In terms of ratio, I think about a 50-50 ratio of chocolate to cream. Is that what you do? And what about with the oat milk? Does that ratio change?
Yeah, you know what? It didn't. 50-50 is correct. I did 50-50 with the oat milk. So butter, pan's hot. Get the ginger in there. Because I didn't want it to scorch. I actually turned the flame down to medium, which is fine. Just trying to get the rawness out of the ginger. Go ahead and add the bananas, like this. All right. Don't need any salt here. It's a dessert, but quite often I will salt fruit. Here I don't need it because I know I'm gonna have my unagi ganache, right? So I just want to get them hot inside, right? Because the whole idea, this is a reverse banana split, if you would. Banana's going to be on top, but I want them warm. I want them warm so they help melt the ice cream. All right. So this looks pretty good. You can get a little rum in here now. Henry, watch out for the flambe a little bit. So a little bit, and just throw a little bit over. Right. And you do have to burn off the alcohol, right? Because what you want the flavor of the rum to stay behind, but you want to get that heat of the alcohol away. And you got to be careful with flambés, right? Don't try to blow it out. You can it can blow back on you, and it puts itself out like that. All right. So this is good to go. All right, and let's go to the front. We'll plate this up, make our ganache.
And Chef.
So last but not least,
while you're plating, we have about 6 minutes.
Okay, perfect. You can ask another question if you have, sir.
So you used regular butter, but you could use the Miyoko's butter there as well. Is that right?
You absolutely could. Yeah, in that instance, Miyoko butter would have been just fine. And I actually like it. I think their coconut butter's pretty darn good. All right, so we have our hot bananas. We have some cold ice cream. Here's the chocolate. So again, it looks like, oh my God, that's not going to come together, right? It's okay. Be patient. Get it from the bottom. Eventually, that broken ganache because you have the bottom, which is why you just cannot mess with it. You got to let it melt completely, right? There we go. Now we have chocolate ganache.
That's gorgeous.
We're going to add just 1 tablespoon of the unagi sauce, all right? Let's get that in there. All right, let's give this a quick try. Oh, wow. I actually like the unagi sauce a lot. I'm going to add another half tablespoon. That was delicious. All right, so here we go. We take some bananas first. On the ice cream. This is store-bought ice cream, and I think that's A-okay. Not a lot of the chefs are making veal stock and chicken stock at home right now. Although, I can't wait for Thanksgiving. And yes, I'm getting a big bird because my favorite thing in the world is the stock. All right. And then unagi chocolate ganache. And I'm going to add, because I just looking at this like, oh, we have to have this. And I have to add my, where are my walnuts I had today? Other side. Sorry, guys. This is important. Ask a question, though. I really want.
So how long can you keep the ganache in the refrigerator, and what happens to it? Does it get very thick and you have to gently heat it up, or what's the story on refrigerating ganache?
That's a great question. I just want to put this up here. So, guys, I added walnuts. It's not in the recipe, but you know what? Everything's better with walnuts. The one thing about eating plant-based, for the record, I will get to your question too, Andrew, is you got to make sure you get protein, right? And you have to. Beans and nuts, if you don't have allergies to nuts, are a great way to get smart fat and protein into your diet. So don't forget about nuts. Ganache lasts a really long time. As long as you don't do the rookie move of sticking your finger in the ganache and introducing bacteria, this could last 2 weeks in your fridge easily. And quite often, and Henry, who's shooting, will do it. I'll put them in ramekins, and you can nuke it for just like 15 seconds. And then we have a pool of hot ganache, and we add a scoop of ice cream on top of that. It's awesome. So really, it lasts a super long time. Just same with hot sauce and anything. Don't ever put your finger into your yogurt. Use a spoon, because once you introduce bacteria, boom, there's mold in the yogurt in a day, right? So don't introduce bacteria. There's plenty around. That's all we got, guys.
Chef, I wish you could see the comments. There's just so many accolades.
Let's hear it. Are there any questions here? Let's see.
I think Andrew has addressed the large majority of them. I think along with everyone else, I have almost felt like I am in your kitchen with you, and just missing those delicious bites and sips, of course. But everything looked incredible. Thank you so much, Ming, for all of those incredible dishes.
Oh, you're
As
welcome.
a reminder, the link to all of those fantastic recipes are in the chat. So encourage everyone to go there. Recreate this at home. Thank you, Andrew, so much for moderating the session. And thank you to Kikkoman Sales USA for your support of the session and of the conference as a whole. We are concluding for today, but we are going to start tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. But with that, I want to give Ming one last chance. What are your final words, Ming? We're asking all of our presenters actually to share what is your mantra of hope that you can share with our audience in one quick sentence as a closeout.
This is a layout for you. A mantra of hope is this. Ming's Bings. That is a layout. What is Ming's Bings, guys? This is a vegan, gluten-free patty that just launched pre-order today. You can get them anywhere in the country, pre-order today. 8 super veg, watercress, garlic, ginger, onions are antioxidants, shiitake is just what I cooked here, immune enhancing, gluten-free brown rice wrapper, self-oiled, easy to repair in 10 minutes. And the whole idea is it's good for the body. It's good for your mind because, again, the whole science thing we talked about. It's also good for your soul because some proceeds benefit Dana-Farber, who saved my wife's life and my CEO's life, and Family Reach with financial help families for cancer. So good for your mind, body, and soul. My hope is this will take off, not to make money, but to help fight the huge issue of obesity in this country. Right now, people without money don't have a choice but to go to McDonald's. There are 2 kids, 3 jobs, they have $15. They have to go to McDonald's to eat. I can't say get some organic carrots and chicken breast and cook. No, they can't. They don't have the time nor the wherewithal. This hopefully will be an alternative to the Big Macs and Whoppers out there that will get people a way to eat more healthily. Because if we can stay healthy, we don't need the drugs, we don't need the hospitals, because you are what you eat. And Asia's proven it. Food is medicine. So this I'm very excited about. Ming's Bings, guys. Check it out. It's, again, helps me to help the world, which is what we want to do. So thank you for letting me chat about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ming. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening. We will see you tomorrow online at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Bye now.
Thanks, guys. Andrew, thank you so much. Shar, thank you.